Welcome to Painting with Pat, and I'm Pat. We connect you to wildlife through the arts, and today we're going to take you out in the wild and show you how to track animals. It's a deer track, and the point of the track is headed that way, so that means the deer is walking that way. There's one right there. You go film it when you're pointing. What you need is a good muddy solid bank that the deer or whatever has walked over, and that will make a nice solid mold for you to pour the plaster of Paris in and get a good clean cast of the track. But there's one right there. The deer is headed that way, and I know that because it's headed up the creek, because the point is pointed that way, and that's the way they walk. And here's another track here. See the point? But see, this is not good. This track is not good for a cast either. All this loose gravel in the bottom. Here's another track here. See the deer, the hoof goes this way. Here's another track here. And remember, a deer foot, a deer hoof is separated like your two fingers. And it goes in and makes a track here, and it has a little toe back here. So that's the way your track is going to be, that way. And whichever way the point is, that's the way they're walking. Here's another track here. And I can tell this is a small deer because of the width of the track, and also by how deep the track is made into the sand. There's another impression. So let's just keep walking in this nice deer habitat. Found another really good track here, and I'm mixing up some more of the plaster of Paris so I can make a plaster cast of this so we can take it back to the studio and study it. Also, it's an interesting way of just identifying the different tracks and identifying different deer that come your way. This plaster of Paris, you need to put it out in little sacks like this because it comes in a great big bag, and by taking it out like this and mixing it up only when you need it, because if you mix it up more than what you need, it will go through a phase called a heat phase, and then you can't use it anymore. And fill the track to a nice level. You'll take a little stick and kind of work your way around. Make sure it goes down into the hoof. This is a whitetail deer track, which I found here. The track indicates that the deer's not too old. It's a young deer, and you can tell that by the depth of the track. Also, the width of the track also will help you identify the deer. If it was a really deep track and a very wide track, you think it was a great big buck or a big doe, but this one is just a small one. So we work the plaster of Paris down into the hoof print, and now I'm going to mark it so I can come back when this plaster of Paris sets up and take it out of the track and see what kind of cast I've made. And like I said, this is a really neat way of a neat art form within itself, is plaster casting. And when you bring nature into it and you cast a real hoof print or a track of any kind of animal, that's where your art crosses over into science, and it really makes it a neat project. Let's see what else we can find. When Painting with Pat cannot take the kids outside to observe nature and wildlife in its natural habitat, we take the wildlife inside to the kids. Oh, great. This molded out really well. Oh, and look. This tells us about this deer. The end of his hoof is broken off. It's not in the mold. It's not in the hoof print that we use for a mold. So sometime during this deer's life, he's either in a fight or stumbled over a big rock or something broke the end of that hoof off right there. And it will grow back, but right now we can tell this deer, if we happen to meet him on the trail with this part of that hoof being gone, we can tell he passed by this way. This is a great specimen. This is where art and science goes hand in hand.